Welp, we're back, and the round of 16 is upon us. Things are getting exciting, as they tend to do around this time. Before we begin, some quick remarks. If, let's say, 20 years down the line, if I had to guess how people would remember this World Cup, it would probably be the World Cup of upsets. And of course, the soccer gods had to squeeze in just one more today. So Cameroon beat Brazil 1-0. I mean, as a moment, pretty cool, though it ultimately had no effect on playoff standings. So now here we are, trying to predict how said playoffs will go. We've got some teams, several of which we never expected to be here. Specifically Morocco, Senegal, South Korea. Good lord. So, I guess the group stage proved just how impossible predicting these games are, but we're gonna try anyway. Let's do this. And we start off right away with Netherlands versus the United States. I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist. As much as I would like to be wrong, I am well aware of what is likely to happen. I predict the Netherlands wins this game, though I hope I'm wrong. Up next, Argentina versus Australia. Again, Argentina should win this game. They did lose to Saudi Arabia, so nothing's impossible. But yes, I expect them to take this one. I mean, they looked pretty good in their other two games, though. They are still a favorite to win this, or at least a finals favorite. So things are looking up for them, or at least they have been since that hiccup versus Saudi Arabia. Next, Japan versus Croatia. Japan might have been the shock of this World Cup, beating superior opponents in Germany and Spain, or seemingly superior opponents. And now they've made the knockout round. This game could go either way, honestly. It's impossible to say. I think Japan wins this one. Next, Brazil versus South Korea. I think Brazil wins. Brazil underperformed somewhat. I mean, they were the number one ranked team before. But now they're playing South Korea. I think Brazil wins. I mean, look, South Korea's had a nice run. They should be proud of themselves and all that. But yeah, that's how things tend to go here. England versus Senegal. Again, England wins pretty easily. I mean, Senegal, like South Korea, had a nice run. It's a shock they made it here. I don't think they make it any farther, though. Up next is France versus Poland. France, defending champions. They're not going to go out in the round of 16. I think they beat Poland pretty comfortably here. Then Morocco versus Spain. Spain is another team that underperformed greatly, losing to Japan in their final game and losing their group to Morocco, but still making the playoffs. I think they get that wild card luck and beat Morocco here. Morocco, again, another shock team. I think their Cinderella run of sorts comes to an end at the hands of Spain. Finally, Portugal versus Switzerland. This also could go either way. This is a toss-up, honestly. You could, do a coin toss to determine this one. Switzerland is kind of one of Europe's weaker squads, and Ronaldo is going to be hungry for winning the World Cup in his last chance that he's got. So, yeah, it's I think Portugal wins. So now on to the next round. It'll be Netherlands versus Argentina. Japan versus Brazil, England versus France, and Spain versus Portugal. So first, Argentina versus Netherlands. This is going to be a game to watch, and you know, that's that's all that's really there to say. It's between two heavyweights. I think Netherlands gets the edge here, though. This could go either way as well. Japan versus Brazil. Brazil wins, but Japan will put up a fight. England versus France. France is last year's winner. I think they make it pretty deep too here. I think they'll beat England on penalties, because that seems to be how England always goes out, on penalties and in the quarterfinals. Finally, Spain versus Portugal. Spain showed some weakness in the group stage. I think Portugal bests them here. Okay. Up next, the yes, now that the quarterfinals have been determined, we go on to the semis. This is going to be tough to determine. I hate long pauses in this. This was unprepared, in case you couldn't tell. So, semifinal 1, it will be the Netherlands versus Brazil. Semifinal 2, France versus Portugal. Ooh. Listen, Portugal is the underdog in this game, since this is the World Cup of upsets. I think Portugal gets the nod over France. Also, because World Cup winners almost never do as well as they did the next year. France, which admittedly does better than most defending champions, goes out in the semis. Finally, Netherlands versus Brazil. I'm picking Netherlands over Brazil, meaning our final is the Netherlands versus Portugal. Two teams that haven't won before, that have not won yet, that have yet to win a single World Cup, will be facing off against each other. And I think the 2022 World Cup winner is going to be the Netherlands. So, yeah. That's my prediction for the playoffs of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Again, this is based on, well, very little, other than observations from previous games and my own intuition. And, I don't exactly have a great track record on this. I mean, please nobody go through any of my tweets and see who I had picked as the winner before the tournament started. Please, nobody do it. Nobody do it. Anyway. That's a wrap on this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I right? Am I completely off? Probably the latter. Anyway, I'll see you next time.